Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I am on Fairline's Squadron 68. Beautiful upscale motor yacht with a fit and finish that's elevated as well. Let me show you what I mean as I do a full features inspection. Now, as I approached this yacht, there were a couple of things that caught my attention. First of all, I noticed that the chines are underwater, so we won't get that lapping against the hull from the staterooms that keeps us awake all night. Nice touch there. We've also got an elevated spray rail that will give us a drier ride. Additionally, notice how the bulwarks come down in the center so we have better sight lines from the salon. Now, as I come aboard, sizable swim platform, 5 feet 2 inches, and of course it's hydraulically actuated so we can use it as a private beach or for launching a tender. In the transom, there's a 4 foot 2 inch bench seat going across that can be folded up, and just to the side, a clever transom shower. Now, with such an elaborate transom shower, I can't help but notice that there's a shelf here that would be better utilized if there was a bit of a fiddle here. Now we can put shampoos in there. Now, to both sides, there are access stairs to the aft deck. Let's take a look there. Features here start with C-shaped seating surrounding a solid wood pedestal table. It's on 2 fixed pedestals. Under the seats and to both sides, fender storage. Under the center seat, there's life raft storage. 31-inch high bulwarks to both sides, far and away exceeding ABYC standards. We have bar stools in front of a little bit of a bar here, and this gives us access to this opening window, which combines the inside with the outside. Now, all of this is under the protection of the extended flybridge deck, 6 feet 9 inches off of this deck. Now, we're already starting to see an elevated level of fit and finish on this yacht, starting with right behind the bar, this corrugated feature and the fabric to the overhead. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this upscale fit and finish as I go through this boat. Right at the side of the stairs to the flying bridge, got lighting, controls for the optional passerelle, and there's also a switch here for lighting the aft deck. That's if you have the whole boat turned off and dark, you can hit that switch so you're not fumbling with your keys in the dark to get yourself in or out of the boat. It's a nice, thoughtful feature. There's another social zone at the bow that begins with C-shaped seating. Large sun pad just ahead of that, and the center of it lifts to form opposing seating. There's also an option for a sunshade that can be supported by stanchions, 2 aft and 2 forward. Flying bridge is accessed from stairs to the port hand side of the aft deck. There's a whole other social zone there. Let's take a look. Well, certainly welcoming. 2 separate areas. Let's start at the stern. This starts with loungers to both sides, and there are 2 tables. All this is secured to the deck, so it's fine in the seaway. And notice that under the rail, surrounded by glass, maintains that open and airy look while adding a little bit of protection. Now, just ahead, an electric grill, sink, below, ice maker, refrigerator, trash receptacle, and storage to the side. Now, all of this can be under the protection of an extendable awning overhead. Coming forward to the starboard side, J-shaped seating surrounding a solid wood table with pop-up LED lights, beverage holders in the center, and it is on fixed pedestals. Makes a nice dining area, and conveniently enough, directly across there's storage for glassware and tableware just underneath. Additionally, we can order a TV on an electric lift. Just ahead, U-shaped seating around another solid wood table on a fixed pedestal, and all this is under the protection of a substantial hardtop. Again, we've got the fabric that we saw down below in the aft deck. Forward, however, we have an entire section that can be opened up. Much like the aft sunshade, it works on one touch, and we can also stop it in any position. This can also be ordered with a high-low table so that we can add a filler cushion and turn this whole area into a sun pad. As we move inside, we've got a primary opening of 23 inches, but we can open this a little bit further giving us 35 inches. Now there's another door alternative that's a trifold that will open up even further and then fold out, giving us a wide open space. And then of course when we open up this galley window, we're really blending the inside with the outside. I don't want to talk about so much every feature that we have in this galley because it's a galley, but more importantly, the level of fit and finish that Fairline has brought to the game on this boat. And it's really defining their level of craftsmanship, and it's really defining how Fairline wants to be as they move forward. This is a good showpiece for it. For example, if you look at the gloss factor, it's over 92% just in this area. The fluted woodwork that started outside in the cockpit is carried inside and then over to this one here. And it's also exhibiting another clever use of space and storage solutions. No available space is wasted, even under the seat pull-out drawer for your tableware. The table has extensions to both sides with beverage holders, but when you extend the leaves, really brings to light the quality of workmanship that Fairline brings literally to the table. Bookended grains on both sides, walnut table with maple inlay, a gloss finish, giving us a factor of 94 now. I've been to their factory, I've done the factory tour, and I watched how this was assembled. This is an incredibly difficult process. They go through the process because it's worth it. It's what they want, and this is the level of attention to detail. There's a nice transition between the dining and galley area, having a hardwood decking, and then carpeting for the salon. Large windows give it an open and airy space. This photo of the salon is taken when offshore and not tied up to a dock next to a building. It'll give you a better sense of the views and light coming in from these extra large windows, which is an important feature of the yacht. Opposing seating, love seat on one side, U-shaped seating on the other. We can swap out this coffee table arrangement for a pedestal table to make this into a more formal dining area. Notice how there's a reverse angle on this sofa. It serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it gives you more floor space. It's more comfortable to sit on with your feet tucked under you. Plus, if you stand, I can be closer to the sofa with my feet tucked into it. There's also excellent use of space in this location with plenty of storage solutions, a TV on an electric lift. Also, the TV is connected to a Sonos sound system, which goes through the boat with 23 speakers, 3 subwoofers, 9 amplifiers. We even have a charging station for our portable Sonos speakers that we can take with us anywhere on the boat, so you can literally control the sound throughout the boat with all the zones and portable sounds, all from your smartphone. Just forward, there's companion seating so we can enjoy the view of the captain at the helm. I also like how there's a pad forward so we can be in a reverse position looking aft. Now as we move below, the companionway again shows the fit and finish that Fairline is coming out with, and I just can't stop noticing it. Curves, beautiful joinery, high gloss, it just goes on throughout the boat. Let's go down below. Now the first room I want to talk about, right here at the base of the stairs to the port hand side, it's a utility room. There's plenty of storage solutions in here. Hull side window, opening port light for ventilation. And remember I said we have refrigeration solutions that you might want to check out. Well, here it is. Refrigerator, freezer, full height. Now, way back in the early days of Fairline, they had a utility room and someone put an ironing board in it. It was a clever idea and it stuck, and it continues to this day. Now this room can be optioned out for whatever you'd like. If you don't want a utility room, we can make it into a guest stateroom with over-under berths, office space, however you'd like. Next, we'll take a look at the master. Well, we've got a full beam master stateroom. Berth is center mounted, 78 inches by 64 inches. Certainly spacious enough with an overhead clearance of 6 feet 6 inches. Large hull side windows to both port and starboard, and there are opening port lights just behind them. Just look at how easy on the eyes this room is, with the lighter tones up high, and then as you go down, the grayer tones. Also like how there are air conditioning vents up high so that the whole room cools down evenly. To the starboard side, a large storage credenza with drawers and a vanity. Notice how the hull side comes up underneath, so we can't get rid of that step there, but we can accommodate it. easily enough. There's a settee underneath the hull side window, storage to both sides. Now to the forward bulkhead, 43-inch flat screen TV, and notice again the attention to detail. The fluted wood that we saw up above is carried down here. Curved wood, they didn't have to do that. It's so much more difficult than just making squared off, but this is curved and it's so comfortable. Look at the hardware. Comfortable, easy to handle. When we open the door, there's nothing to catch on your clothes, but as we close the door, it pops out. Aft into starboard, we've got a large hanging locker with shelf space and drawer space underneath. Another locker with the owner's safe. And then we have the master head. There's a vessel sink on top of a solid surface counter, mirrors with storage behind, electric flush toilet, large shower with a hull side window, opening port light, and a diffused basin underneath. Rain shower up above and a handheld wand. As we come out of the master, there's a combination washer dryer in the walkway, and fully forward is the VIP. This is laid out in the typical fashion of an island berth, accessible from both sides. Certainly open and airy enough, with 6 feet 6 inches of overhead clearance, which leaves us 4 feet 3 inches above the berth, which measures 78 by 64 inches. There are hull side windows to both port and starboard, with small opening port lights just behind. Happy to see that above the windows, Fairline utilizes that space for storage. So many builders just seem to forget about that little detail, but here it's put into good use with the nice wood trim underneath it as well. There are hanging lockers to both port and starboard. At the forward bulkhead, there's a TV, more of the fluted wood that we're seeing. To the port side of the entry, there's access to the VIP head, which has a separate walk-in shower, and because it has a separate door, this also serves as a day head. Now, as an alternative arrangement, the utility room that we saw earlier, that could be made into a day head, in which case we would lose this door, and then this bulkhead would be moved back into this position, allowing the VIP to have a private ensuite. And that leaves us with our final stateroom. We got stateroom to the starboard side. This has twin berths, hull side window, opening port light, TV above. We can also electrically move these two berths together to form one large berth. There's storage, and then a private ensuite. The Squadron 68 is really an impressive yacht, both from its functionality, versatility, and roominess, but mostly, and I can't understate this enough, the elevated level of fit and finish that we're seeing from Fairline that is going to be moving forward to future yachts. And that's my full features inspection of the Squadron 68 from Fairline. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve, and we'll see you on the water.